Hello, church family. Merry Christmas Eve. Tonight, I want to talk to you about Mark chapter 1, Luke chapter 2, and a well known Christmas song this time of year, Mary, Did You Know? One of the things that has often been pointed out with Mary, Did You Know? Is that yes, she did know some stuff. An angel came and talked to her. She sang a song about the Lord delivering her. So yes, did she know? But at the same time, no. She didn't know everything. She didn't necessarily know that he would heal the blind, that he would heal the deaf, and cause the dead to live again. She probably didn't really understand his sacrificial death, and ultimately that he was the true I am, the incarnate Lord, the incarnate Lord of glory. And part of why we can at least say something to this extent is we have Luke chapter 2, as she gives him to the priest, and Simeon has him. He says these words, Now, Master, you are releasing your slave in peace according to your word. For my eyes have seen your salvation, which you prepared in the presence of all peoples, a light for the revelation, a light for revelation to the Gentiles, and for the glory of your people Israel. And right after there, what to say? His father and mother were marveling at the things that were being said about him. Mary was still in awe. She was still learning. She was still grasping the greatness of the incarnation, the reality that her son would be the deliverer of Israel. I think it's pretty fair to say she understood he was the Messiah, but to say that she understood everything, clearly she did not. To go to that song, um, those words, Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that he would rule the nations? Did you know that he is heaven's perfect lamb and that the sleeping child you're holding is the great I am? What a beautiful, beautiful lyric for us to meditate on, to think on. Um, Also, I like to go to Mark 1 this time of year because Mark 1, the Gospel of Mark, is the one Gospel that doesn't have your typical um, incarnation story. Obviously, Matthew and Luke, we have the announcements to Mary and to Joseph, we have the birth narrative. John has his, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word took on flesh and dwelt among us. We have those words out of the Gospel of John. But I don't think we should overlook the Gospel of Mark when it comes to Christmas. The beginning of the Gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, as it is written in Isaiah the prophet, Behold, I send my messenger ahead of you, who will prepare your way, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make ready the way of the Lord. As Isaiah would say, make ready the way of Yahweh, make his path straight. And so what do you have? You have right off the bat, you have the reality of the incarnation. The Lord would be with us. His presence would actually be with us. We have a foretelling by the prophet, as we have in the other gospel narratives. We have John the Baptist, as we have in the beginning of Matthew and Luke as well, and John's gospel. So, what do you have in Mark chapter 1? You have the Christmas story. You have the promise of the prophets, the promise of God from everlasting, the promise that He would come and be with His people. And He is with us. Yes, He rules and He reigns in heaven today, but by God's grace, because He has saved us and because He has sent His Spirit, God is with us this Christmas season, and that is good news for all of God's people. Have a blessed Christmas, church family.